Thank God it's Friday. Well, what you're just about to watch, it may confuse you a little bit because I looked a little younger. Yes, because I'm just about to share Thank God it's Friday 2024. This is a series that every Friday shows you the activities here at Salento with Love, or probably the run around that I take place in my life on a weekly basis with many beautiful things happening. But this is 2024, remember. So whenever you are leaving a comment, remember that we are back in 2024. If you'd like to subscribe to the 2025, well then do that by subscribing to the Thank God it's Friday 2025. And also, when you're visiting Puglia, come stop here by the office and one of these fabulous books will be waiting for you together with a lot of other things. So enjoy Thank God it's Friday 2024, become a subscriber of Thank God it's Friday 2025 and have a fantastic weekend. Monday morning, starting at just the electrician is finished, the plumber as well, so I try to tidy up now, get rid of some of these things before the plaster turns up and continues with it. Working on La Casetta at the same time, so that's how close the two of them are. While I'm here, let's see what's happening this morning at Palazzo Angelini. We discovered that ceiling that we were trying to protect, it was a false ceiling, and on the other side there was a majestic star-shaped ceiling fully decorated. Amazing discovery. So day one of plastering, and it's like having a football team. They're all coordinated, but it's amazing to see everything being closed, all these wounds, and straightening the walls in less than a week is going to look incredible. Good to start on a Monday. Well, now I'm in Gallipoli, in this amazing property, which used to be a bed and breakfast. It's now going to have some changes to bring it back into a dwelling. It's beautiful, the light that it gets coming in. These really high shape ceilings. So we got a little bathroom here that needs to be removed, a little box here that probably serves as a wardrobe. These are all, although they're solid stone, but they're just partitions. They can all be removed, and also that one needs to be removed. I tried to do everything without really turning the entire house into a huge building site. Sometimes builders come in and it's just easy for them to just destroy everything, but then it costs money, time, resources to put things back in a certain way. So here it's very much a very surgical kind of intervention. The electrics are good, they may be not in the right place, but they can be modified. The plumbing the same. So it's a matter of working your way around without creating a huge distraction. E qui c'è un'altra stanza.
Qua c'è una stanza?
Questa è un'altra stanza, sì.
Ah, visti quella lì che sta da portare nella stanza?
Sì. So today I've just got here, but they finished already removing all the rubble. The toilet still survives. Fantastic. A massive plus with this property, this balcony that wraps the building, just allows you to navigate the space without actually coming through the inside of the property. Looking at the space is a lot clearer now. We'll be closing that space at the top there. So that will be closed again, keeping this all pretty uniform. But the kitchen will be fitted there once the toilet finally goes, with an island coming across here. Stairs going up, where there is a room up there that could be an office to begin with, or a guest room. And as you're coming around here, we'll have a door here. And what a size bathroom. I mean, really fantastic. Double shower at the back, bathtub over there, toilet and bidet here, double basin coming around at a kind of a check shape. Very pleased with this. That's what I love about Thank God It's Friday. Probably if you keep following it through, you can actually see the developments of sites that they're not part of a series. And also you get to see my thought process in getting some time, the space right. Old school, priceless. And after a rainy Saturday and Sunday, wintry, which we haven't had a winter, amazing day today again, blue sky. In fact, I just had to go by the house to change my jacket. It was a little bit too heavy duty. I'm on the road on the way to the notary. I was there last week, I believe, yes. And I have two closing actually, one at 4:30, so in about 20 minutes from now. And my client, you're probably watching this, thank God it's Friday, but don't worry, you can be comfortably there in Malaysia while I'll take care of this for you. The other one I will do right after, which is at 5:30, it's a client who has already purchased a portion of two properties actually, and the one in the courtyard became available, so it's just picked up now the third property to complete the entire courtyard. So if you do get the opportunity, oh, my sister is ringing me. Here we are. I don't particularly like the element of surprise, and we are extremely professional at what we do. But what just happened now, as I was in the car and I got the call, was that the money that was supposed to be sent to do one of the closing today haven't arrived, and the reason is because we got the date wrong. And so if the money are not with the notary, obviously you cannot close. So it's been a stressful 10-15 minutes, been fixed by getting the vendor to just come back in a few days once the money are actually here at the notary. So I always believe that when something happens, it allows you to put procedures in place to make sure that things don't happen. So I'm still going to be here reassuring the vendors now, and making sure that they go away with all happy for closing in a few days.
So is this your pen?
No.
This is my pen.
Okay.
This is my lucky pen. So sometimes the purchase happens remotely,
Right.
and sometimes it happens locally. So you're here.
We're here.
Yeah.
We're here.
Yeah. We could just go. We could just go out.
You could just go now. You've done. Just if anyone is watching this for Thank God It's Friday.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you're privileged. Thank God It's Friday. Thanks for subscribing.
I've got a slot on.
You haven't subscribed yet. You haven't joined.
No, he hasn't got a
I'm
clue
not on
how
social
to.
I
media.
think if I'm talking to you, my English accent comes out a little bit more strong, I guess. But anyway.
Because you're a geezer.
Yeah. So power of attorney has been put into place. So literally they've been here about half an hour before the sale happens. The vendors are sitting across the table. Scusate che parlo in inglese, ma
No,
e quei
prego,
venditori.
prego.
Sarah and Matt, they've already purchased two properties. So this is the number 3 inside the courtyard. They wanted to be present for
always,
the closing.
Yeah.
But we still did put into place a power of attorney. So you've now put a power of attorney into place, which allows me to sign on your behalf. And what that does really saves a huge amount of time and resources, because otherwise the entire title deed needs to be translated into English, and you need to have an official translator here through the entire process. So putting a power of attorney into place saves all of that. It's just a single document where the buyer is giving authority to somebody else to act on their behalf. And so when the moment comes, I will be signing. But the house that you're buying today belonged to their grandmother, so their father's mother.
La mamma di mio papà. Pochi metri più avanti dal portone c'era la mamma di mia mamma, quindi stavamo tutti su una strada noi. Noi siamo cresciuti con le due nonne, le zie, le sorelle delle mie nonne, tutte in una strada.
No, il dettaglio qua. Una dei video
No, non lo posso fare.
punto di vista.
Che quando cominci a filmare si fermano sempre tutti. È tanto bello. What a beautiful Tuesday morning. Beautiful to see the progress on Palazzo Angelini after the concrete floor or the screed that made everything super flat. Now the plaster that is gonna really start taking shape. And what a discovery at the end of last week of that ceiling. But when you are restoring a building, which is like this morning I was having a conversation with the plasterers, and it's better to work on a new building, on a new construction, that at least you know what to expect, because you know you're filling holes, you're covering cracks, and you're putting mesh. It's good to see that it's coming together. Now this morning I'm just about to meet with Matt and Sarah. They purchased 2 properties in a courtyard, which they are not connected yet together, but they can be connected, and making a beautiful property on the first floor. And just yesterday we completed, well, you actually saw it probably just a few minutes ago in this video, a 3rd property which is on the ground floor of this courtyard, now almost completing the entire range of properties that can be found in this courtyard. So today we're just going to discuss some of the options in distributing and creating a space that will satisfy and fulfill their needs. So I'm just walking towards my 11 o'clock appointment this morning. Isn't it exciting? I'm just walking past my Grotto Gasper just over there. I do miss it. Another morning, but can you believe it? Yesterday, I really need to get better at this. I was with a client for 7.5 hours, maybe 8 hours after I left Palazzo Angelini, and we were there talking about how this space could be distributed. We went to lunch. I took him around to see a couple of properties that we've been working on, and I never turned my GoPro on. Unbelievable. So I hope you forgive me for that, but I will be sharing with you potentially the decision that gets made as a result of spending an incredible amount of time on site yesterday. The full morning here talking with a lift engineer, then a swimming pool engineer, and the plasterers who have been working really hard. This has probably been one of the most, well, not challenging, but interesting part of the project, introducing a lift inside a building, and so many elements need to tie in together to make sure that everything works when it gets fabricated. Arrivo. While I'm doing this, the guy for the swimming pool has just turned up. Sì, dimmi.
Metto la curva sopra.
Sì? E la porti a
Così,
filo
questa
e
fa la
scendi.
giro
Sì,
così,
perfetto.
All'angolo ti viene il tubo esterno.
Perfetto. Così che se apriamo completamente sta parete,
Ok.
che hai visto solamente un rivestimento e dietro non c'è niente, già era aperta quella sicuramente.
Perfetto.
Perché a quel punto veramente poi tieni sto passaggio bello comodo. Mamma quante macerie avete fatto.
Vabbè, un poco le sfruttiamo.
Ah, riempiamo
un po'.
intorno, no?
che bello ancora. At Palazzo Bella this morning as my first stop. Really great to see the transformation of this beautiful building. I love the ceiling. I love how the two floors are also divided by these internal stairs with a beautiful skylight that is getting refurbished at the moment. And then downstairs you have this really special space. Beautiful light coming through there, kitchen going at the back there, and almost finished with the plaster now. Probably a few more days and then clearing everything up. Cavolo, sì. Qua solleviamo sta porta, bellissimo. Cerco di fare limbo, no, più sotto, più sotto. Eccomi. Well, can I start by saying thank God it's Friday. Palazzo Bella, things have developed so beautifully well with this building. Just about finishing all the plastering. Very important if you're doing a refurbishment. Sometimes people think I'm slow. No, I think I'm actually 10 times faster than anyone else. But what I like to do things at the right time. And today, what's happening today, all the ledges are getting fitted because the plastering is finished. Gigi, buongiorno. Actually, as I'm coming through, you probably remember from previous videos. So we've created a structure and we've dropped the ceiling here into still really, really high. Buongiorno Gabriele. Little things like this really make the difference. Now we're building a box there because we need to hide the soil stack that takes the sewer line upstairs onto the other floor. But just a small detail, it could have been just a square box, but now we shape it to come into line with a star-shaped ceiling. So once it's done, you won't see it, plus it will be behind the kitchen. Little things like that really make the difference for me when I'm designing or when I'm bringing a property together, and that's probably the simple things that really make it worth for me to keep that attention to the detail.
Tu ti porti la soglia per esempio, invece la porti qua la soglia, tu la porti per esempio a qua. Che vedi che la soglia già se un po' entra qua, per me non mi dispiace perché incontra il pavimento. E te porti sti 4-5 cm che stiene qua, te li porti innanzi. Un po' di parare la settimana prossima.
Accetto bene, la pulizia di uno spettacolo.
Però con lo soffitto tutto così bello, con la lampadari lo faccio vista. Poi avrai forse un camino pure, quindi se va facile lo faccio vista, poi ti rimane una pezza qua. Penso che qua è un camino qua, eh? A qua dove sta macchia. No. Perché sullo terrazzo avevo due canne fumari, eh? Avevo una qua e un'altra qua chiusa. And also coordinating a delivery, you know, you're dancing around, they ring you up and they say, oh, can you take a delivery? Yeah. So you see what's happening here. So these are rods that are holding the building together. They were probably put in there maybe even 100 years ago, and they're run underneath the plaster. We've got one over here and one over there. But as we know with metal, over the years, if a little hair gets to it, it rusts, it expands, and it blows. So what is getting done today here is actually hacking it all off, then treating it with a rust converter, and then plastering it and leaving it in the wall to continue to offer the support that it was actually installed to do.
E la signora di qua, da dove sale qua sopra? Lui è Adriano.
Sì, ciao Adriano. Just checking this property out Friday afternoon. It's amazing. Sometimes people get very carried away and they love certain things, but then the problems that you get into, just looking at this property, that someone else has got access through your roof to get to their bit. Sometimes properties can sound very appealing, like 20, 30,000, and you think, oh, that's great. And then you spend thousands refurbishing, and then you have huge issues. But in the meantime, I love what I see. Look at that. So that's a nice challenge. In this particular case, there's the arch that connects the two environments. Apart from wanting the arch to be as perfect as possible, this particular arch needs to be absolutely perfect all the way around. And the reason is because there is going to be a glass door fitting in between there. And so through the plastering process, the only way that you can make sure that it's absolutely perfect is to have two pieces of panels fitted on both sides, absolutely level. So then they can render or plaster in between, making sure that once they remove the panel, the opening in between, it's absolutely dead square. So what an amazing week here in Salento. It's now coming towards the end. 6 o'clock on Friday. I think it's time to stop. Also only because tomorrow is Saturday doesn't mean that the week doesn't continue. It will continue to some other activities, but we'll leave that to next week. In the meantime, thank you very much for being part of this journey this week, and thank you very much for being a subscriber of Thank God It's Friday. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you next week.
I was that. Yeah, I looked younger. Different hairstyle as well. Subscribe to 2025 and I'll see you every week on a Friday. Stay safe wherever you are.